Happy Wednesday! It is our final book study with 5 habits successful people do before 8 a.m. So this is just the conclusion. It should be short and sweet. The conclusion is not very long. I only have 3 pages of notes. So Ezra's down for a nap. The girls are gone. We have family in town, so they're with them for a couple hours this afternoon. So hopefully there will be no distractions and we'll get through this quickly. But again, we are in the 5 things successful people do before 8 a.m. book. It's by Terry Savelle Foy. So if you haven't grabbed this book yet, do it. Do yourself a favor. Go and grab it and read it. Just start with like 1 chapter a week maybe and just break it up. You have time for it. It's so good. It will change your whole perspective. So I entitled this Ready, Set, Start. So far, we've covered all the other chapters in this book. We've covered everything about good habits and bad habits and goals, dreams, living a successful life and unsuccessful life, and what that would look like for you. So now it's time to do the work. Now it's time to go out there and apply these concepts and get done. So the author gives us 2 options. She says we can close the book, continue on with living the life the way that we always have and be in the same place, wishing that things were different. Or we can take action. We can commit to starting small, 1 habit at a time, or incorporating all 5 habits of these daily foundational habits into our life for just 5 minutes a day. And she said, if you do just 1 habit for 5 minutes a day, it will add up to 12 hours of personal growth each month. That's only 5 minutes. So if you do more than that, you're talking in a month, you have 24 hours or 36 hours or whatever it is. You're just multiplying that and you are growing that much more every single month than where you are starting. So in the conclusion of this book, she says there are 3 signs you're on the road to success. So she says, number 1 is you take responsibility. She says, your life today is a series of decisions you've made up until now. You didn't just wake up one morning and you're stuck in the position that you're in. Your financial situation is where it's at because you went to bed last night. That's not how it works. It is a compound reaction of choices you have made in the past, all leading up to where you are now. She says, remember, failure and success don't happen overnight. If you want your future to change, you need to make decisions to change it and take responsibility for where you are and how you got there. Then she gives this quote on page 225 from Jack Canfield, and he says, everything about you is a result of your doing or not doing. So where you are, the situation you're in, it's because of you. So take that responsibility, own up to it, take that first step and admit and say, this is my fault. I'm here because of my own doing and I need to change. And then do it. Don't just sit there and complain and wallow in self-pity. Get up, take the action. On page 226, it says, your world will come together as you put yourself together. And I love that she says that. Like, your world will come together as you put yourself together. Because you're focusing on yourself. You're focusing on your growth. You're not looking at the people around you and saying, I wish I was more like them. You're going out there and you're becoming more like the person you want to be. So don't just sit back. Work on yourself. Grow internally. Grow however you need to. Learn the concepts that you need to learn. Push yourself. Get out of your comfort zone and put yourself together, because your world will come together as you put yourself together. Okay, the second one, it says, you practice self-discipline. So God always prepares us privately before he can use us publicly. That's on page 226. And I love the aspect of self-discipline. I know we've talked about this in previous chapters, but it's so key to figuring out where we are going. Because if you're disciplined enough to set a goal and to go for that goal, then you're going to make it. But if you sit back and you wait for the goal to come to you, you're never going to get there. It says, what we do behind the scenes when no one is watching is what ultimately moves us to success. The private sacrifices lead to public glory. And so, yes, you are going to have to sacrifice. You are going to have to give things up and say no to some things that you wish that you could do, but something else is of greater priority to you. And so you have to know the difference. Like, if it is not taking you further to your goal, you have to put it aside. You have to drop it and say, you know what, I would love to do this with you right now, but I just can't. I